Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about some eyebrow-raising things that the Chicago Blackhawks owner has said lately, and I'm going to jump right into this since it is a very serious topic, and that topic is about Kyle Beach and how the organization has handled things since we learned about this. Now, at this point, most of us do know that the organization failed to really do anything to help former NHL draft pick Kyle Beach after the Blackhawks assistant coach Brad Aldrich sexually assaulted him. And we know that, coming out of all this, many high-ranking staff members knew about this and basically did nothing. And this is kind of a thing we've learned about all in 2021. Why is it coming up again? Well, it's coming up because for the first time in a while, Team Brass had a meeting interview questionnaire, and they were taking public questions for the first time since they reached a confidential settlement with Kyle Beach. During this interview at a town hall, a reporter basically asked what the organization has done and what it's going to be doing to make sure this doesn't happen again. Well, Rocky Wirtz, the owner of the Chicago Blackhawks, did not like, for some reason, anything from that question, which I felt like was a pretty normal question to say, what are you going to do to make sure this doesn't happen? And he said, here's a few quotes. Quote, "I think the report speaks for itself," end quote. Quote, "The people that were involved are no longer here. We're not looking back at 2010. We're looking forward, and we're not talking about 2010, end quote. Quote, "We're not going to talk about what happened," end quote. Quote, "We're moving forward. That is my answer," end quote. Quote, "You don't work for the company," end quote. Quote, "If somebody in the company asks the question, we'll answer it. And I think you should get on to the next subject. We're not going to talk about Kyle Beach. We're not going to talk about anything that happened now. We're moving on. What more do I have to say? You want to keep asking the same questions," end quote. Not a great look by him. And I get that he's probably heard about this a lot because it was all over not only the hockey landscape, but the sports landscape, the world landscape about this. And I know that the franchise has had a really rough year last year from this, and this response did not help the franchise anyway at all. And we know multiple things so far. We know that multiple staff members knew about it. Bowman, Quinville, Cheveldayoff, I believe Bergevin, etc. We know that 2, they did nothing. 3, they let Aldrich coach elsewhere. 4, that multiple people have come forward against Aldrich after they let him go. Even if it didn't happen, which it did. But if it didn't happen, they let a man that had been accused go and coach an under 18 or be part of this group that coached under 18 players. And that's one of the people that came forward and said that they were under 18. It just blows my mind. And I think it blows a lot of people's mind because they just let him go scot-free, and he just did this at other places. And then 5, the organization, we know they have received a ton of negative media coverage because of this. And the best thing you can do if you're the organization or any organization at this point is answer questions about it. Be open, be honest. We know what happened. Here's what we're going to do and what we are going to make sure to fix to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. Because I do think it's reasonable to wonder what they have done to protect the players, because a lot of times you get these 18-year-olds, what are you going to do to protect essentially these kids from predators? And the question was not even remotely close at all to being answered, and it's more bad publicity for the Hawks. Wirtz would later go on to apologize for his response, but the team just got exposed in 2021. All of this coming to light in 2022 is not looking like a hot start for them. Not only is this going on, the team is not playing well on the ice. They are 13 points back of a wild card spot halfway through the year. You imagine this only going to grow. They're still reeling from last year, and they need to show what they've done to take a step as an organization forward. I don't know if they've even done anything. I'm sure that they'll say they have, but unless we have proof, that's more things that we have to wonder about. Wayne Gretzky recently said that he has a young son and he would be worried too from this, because you want to make sure your kids are protected. Every parent in the world would want to make sure their kids are safe from this type of thing, or at least every good parent would want to make sure. And after I got that response, if I had an 18-year-old son and he got drafted to Chicago, I would have some doubts. I would be worried. Obviously, I'm only 21 myself, but let's say I'm older. I don't know if I'd probably ask for them to be traded to a different organization just based off these responses. And no one should ever have to worry about sexual assault, regardless if it's sports or not. Shouldn't be a thing. And you have an organization that buried it under the rug. Hope they didn't get caught. They had a lot of success during and after this. and now they're coming to face consequences because they never dealt with it in the first place. And the owner, yeah, it's a lot of working on your image and repairing the reputation you have now. And for Chicago, I think it'll eventually get better, but they have a lot of work to do. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below. And I am just going to end out the video. No end screen, no make sure to subscribe or anything like that. Just let me know what your comments are on this. Obviously a very, very serious topic, and I will see you tomorrow.